2, 1, and welcome back to WHR Radio, the number one college radio station all over New York City with Charles Introduct Kev. We had to bring him out, one of the most well-known photographers in the New York City area, or maybe even the tri-state area, everywhere. You might see him in the basketball games. You might see him at the Ruby Rose, Be Love Shoot, the Gunner Bowling. We have Kevisions in the building. How's it going? How's life?
Appreciate you. That was a great introduction. I'm doing good, man. Just grinding, taking it day by day. You know.
So take me back from the beginning. What made you want to become a photographer?
I was always playing basketball growing up, and I probably wouldn't go Division 1 like to the NBA because like I wasn't the tallest for it. So I always thought of like a backup plan like since like probably like 8th grade, and like I wanted to be like Stephen A. Smith or like a sports agent or even what I'm doing now, like because I used to watch the Boys Life videos, the hoop mixtape videos, like, and like when I watch Allen Iverson videos, I just like the way the cuts and the edits. So I just knew like certain things I would want to do around basketball if it doesn't work out to where I'm getting paid to play. So yeah, and so I went to high school. I went to Cardinal Spellman. Matter of fact, I'll run it back. I went to in middle school. I went to St. Charles, 7th. It's a school in Harlem, and 7th and 8th grade I was on the basketball team, and then 8th grade we lost in the championship to Holy Family, and it was on my birthday too. So like we went out to BBQs that night. I'm just like, man, what am I gonna do? Like we just lost. Like I wasn't really getting recruited, but I was playing, but like. It was just people was recruiting other people in my class, so I was still trying to get out the mud. You know what I mean? Like, so I was always trying to think of a plan, think like longevity. So I was gonna go to Rice High School, like Rice High School, like the school to go to if you were like a boy in the New York City area. Like, so me going to school in Harlem, seeing the older bros like wearing the Pradas and the Rice uniform. And I used to go to the basketball games, like, cause my pops he knew like Mo Hicks, one of the coaches, and assistant coach, and we would just go to games like. And growing up, where I came from, Sound area of the Bronx, like Kemba Walker, he went to that school too, so that was like a role model, seeing like how he was getting better and still living in the area. Feel me? So I'm taking the test, and ironically, I'm taking the test to get into high school. In Rice High School, and they told us like, "Yo, take it off because they about to close down." I'm like, "Yo, what? Like, Rice goes down? Like, I always wanted to go to Rice, be on 25th, like with the girls. Like, always go to Rice. Like, I always told myself, if I ain't make the team, I would have been like the manager of the basketball team, like, just so I could just be around and go on the trips.
What position you played?
I was a point guard, like play like the wing or the baseline. Like,
yeah. And he was in AAU. We was talking off camera. He was at AAU, and your dad was the pops. Was your dad at like a LeVar Ball type of style, or
he was? I wouldn't say he was LeVar Ball. He was more like for like the whole Bronx, the whole Harlem. Like he was.
Okay. He wasn't trying to like focus just you.
Yeah, that was the fire part about it, like, because like the pressure's not on me for real. Like we all just like all my friends, we all on the same team, like. So we all just gotta buy in. Like it's not really about me or whatever. Like, and I knew my job to play like defense, stuff like that. So yeah. So when Rice High School closed down, I'm like, all right, I'm probably go to St. Ray's or go to Cardinal Spellman. Cause I knew if I go to Cardinal Spellman, I'll make the team, and it was a lower division. I'll make the team, and it was a co-ed school. It was in like everybody wasn't playing in that division, so I'm like, I could probably go there and fit in or like shine even if so. I ended up going to the school, got accepted, and it was terrible, man. Like I walked in there thinking it was gonna be easy, like from kicking a walk, like picking up, like just going there, walk in, like nah, like getting in trouble, the tensions, all type of stuff, like failing, like for real, like wasn't even like taking school serious or life really serious. So then I tried out, and then the next tryout, the coach who was the freshman coach was the dean also. He was saying, "Yo, if you don't have the grades, just go. Don't even come back." He was really talking to me like, So I'm like, damn, like, I can't even try out. This is crazy. I was coming so close, like 63 average, like 60, because it was like 65 average. I was real close. Like it was like the test was real hard for me. Feel me? So, and then the school was like really like for me it was more challenging than like it was more challenging because like that was my first time around like even like interracial groups like white people like Italians, Albanians.
Is that how around the time that you met Darko?
I met Darko probably like a few years after that.
Oh, okay.
So he was doing a Hayes, and I ended up later down the line. I ended up transferring to St. Ray's. And he transferred from Hayes to Ray's. I'm like, you went from Hayes to Ray's? That's crazy. Like, cause like, that's not like,
Nice.
I mean, that's not really. So we just got cool then on the St. Ray's. That's my boy. Word. So
to score to 11 between you and him, what would be the score? And your prime in the high school, not right now, like high school.
High school, Doug will probably win, but it wouldn't be like a blowout though. He's mad taller than me. Right.
And how was that leaving that passion for basketball? You know, you spent years in basketball to now transition to a new profession, which is, you know, photography. I see that you do the merch, you do the stuff. How was that feeling of like just leaving that behind and fully committing to what you do right now?
Yeah, me not playing, I ended up not playing again my sophomore year, so I was just getting my grades up on the tutoring, trying to lock in. So that summer, I didn't know what school I was going to, and my AAU coach, his name was Asante, he hit me and said, yo, I got a school for you called Our Savior Lutheran. It was on Morris Park area. So I just went, because I didn't have a school, I really didn't know what school I was going, so I just went and I played, and then it was a great year. And then sort of around that time is when I knew, okay, basketball might not be it no more, because I was thinking like so long term, I just didn't want to be the person that's like,
Was it hard?
I'm 25 now, so I didn't want to be the person that was like just playing, trying to keep playing. Like I got to start a business, have some type of income coming, because like it's hard to go to Division One. So it was basically I got to work in it since basketball is my passion, so I can always be around it.
Yeah.
I knew a lot of basketball players growing up, like so many. A lot of people I know now, they in the NBA, like Division One, for real. So
you know anyone from our team right now, St. John's?
St. John's, Paj, Dylan. That's all I can think of off the top, for real. Yeah. Paj and Dylan ironically, they went to Our Savior Lutheran. So it was like, we was like that team was like one of the, like, I want to say the pioneers, because the school always been out, but like we was the ones to like really start getting like news articles, like playing different tournaments, like in Jersey, like Thurgood Marshall, like we was playing in different stuff. So then after that, Precious Achua came to the school that following year, but I ended up transferring to St. Ray's because I wanted to be a manager of the team, so that I could end up getting experience working in like behind the scenes of basketball. I didn't even have experience doing that, so that was when I was in varsity B tryouts, and I was thinking about trying out. Coach was like, yo, come try out, Coach Joe, and like, nah, I'm not gonna try. Like, I just want to be the varsity A manager.
Is this like you want to be so focused with basketball? Are you trying to like go from like taking pictures into like basically media, like you said, Stephen A. Smith, or even like that, or writing articles? Is that the end goal for you?
Definitely, like it's really a part of it. I just want to just touch every field I can the best I could.
Would you ever want to transfer to like take pictures and stuff for sports a lot? Or?
Yeah, I would definitely do like football. I played lacrosse too one time, and when I was in Spelman, they had me playing on a team for real. I played lacrosse before. Like I would do other sports, definitely.
So you would like to take pictures like for like let's say lacrosse and
definitely.
And do you edit your own like mixtapes and stuff from Ball's Life or everything, or like how Ball's Life is like, or you?
Yeah, so like when I was the manager, I'll get into that. So when I was the manager at St. Ray's, shout out to Coach Lopez. He let me record game film like from the crowd. So I would have like footage of the whole game, and we'll be watching the footage in practice. So that was like around 2014, 2015. I was a senior. So I didn't know how to edit for real then. My sister, Miss Artistry, Avery Watson. She used to tell me, "Oh, you gotta learn how to edit. I want to edit." I was scared to edit. I was really scared. Like, I didn't think I was too creative for that. Like, it was like a roadblock. It was like something like, "Oh, if you don't," it was something telling me if you don't learn how to edit, you're not going to grow with what you're doing. You're just going to be the guy that's recording and stuff like so. I had so much footage from that year. I was recording Isaiah Washington, Jelly Fam, Sid Wilson, Richie Royce, Kaheem Brown. It was a lot of us. Like it was real good talent on that team. I could have edited all that footage and already been to me probably viral, but you gotta take time. So by the time I graduated, I was going to Harlem. When I was in high school, I was going to Harlem Children's Zone. It was like an after school program, and instead of when you graduate, they'll give you a MacBook or a scholarship. So I took the MacBook. That's when I had got a camera, learned how to edit. I just did it on my own.
What editing software do you use?
So I had the MacBook Air. I started with iMovie, and shout out my bro Saquon Singleton. He was like one of the first ones to like tell me like, "Yo, let's do a basketball video." I'm like, "Sure." He's like, "Yeah, we'll go crazy." Hey, I'm like, "All right, let's do it like a documentary, so you can tell your stories. Like, just do it." Like, I don't know how to do it. Like we gonna figure it out. Like, we're gonna just try. I'm like, all right. Like, I remember how this went exactly. Like, I shot it, went to the crib, and I was on iMovie. iMovie like the basic for like editing, but if you learn on there, you could get better with anything else. So I started just playing together. I called my sister on FaceTime, and then she basically said, "Yo, you got it. Just go from there." I just started from there, for real. Now I edit with Final Cut Pro or like Adobe Premiere.
How much of an impact did your sister play from, I know she does the publicist for music, and I know now you start taking photos for a lot of rappers. What role did she play for you to transition to now also doing music videos, being a part of that culture?
It was crazy because when I was young, like, I won't say always, but it would be times during the day where I could be around a celebrity because of my pops or my sister. Like, so we used to go to like Rucker Park games, like tri-state games. My dad was a legend coach. He used to coach like Shamgar, Kareem Reed, Rich Parker, like a lot of names, a lot of street boy names, and basically when I was young, I would just be around at the games. I would meet like Cameron, Votto, like who else? Like Fat Joe, and so I wouldn't say I was starstruck, but I kind of just was sort of used to it a little.
Yeah.
And then it kind of clicked in me like I didn't just want to be the guy that just knew the celebrity. So I wanted to be the guy like, nah, the celebrity got to talk to me, work with me, like, so we could get money together. That was how she helped me in that way.
Wow.
I used to be real nervous. I used to be real nervous when I talked to a celebrity. She would be like, "Come on, you gotta be out of that." Mm-hmm. So it took me a little while, but I eventually grew out of it and learned that.
What was the best advice she given you?
Best advice? I'm not really sure, but definitely probably just work hard and just set your own probably something in that area.
And you spoke about being with Cameron, and that's like the old school rappers. So you probably when you was growing up listening to old school rap, and you see the drill scene. How do you feel about how music in New York changed so much and within like a decade? Because it went from like boom bap to about like the Joey Badass era to now where it was the Dave East and era, and now we're in the drill scene. So how do you feel about how New York changed over eras, like in like 2-3 year spans of each era?
Well, the amazing thing is that hip hop started in the Bronx, so we're always going to have that unique style, no matter what kind of style it is. So I just feel like over time, it just turns into its own kind of wave. We always have our own style, so I don't think styles stay the same. I understand that trends come back around, like history repeats itself. Like Davies, you feel me? There's guys from back in the day that rap like that.
And we got Griselda right now.
Yeah, sure. So it's always gonna like Jadakiss says.
You like the old school rappers?
I like old school rap facts. I definitely do. Jay-Z, Jadakiss.
All right, so I'll do a little game. All right, Nas or Biggie?
Nas.
J or 50?
J.
Big L or Big Pun?
Big Fur.
Big L.
Fab or Jadakiss?
Jadakiss.
All right. So you study a lot of the old.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of get my like the way I dress from like rappers or like older bros
Okay.
because I spent time in Harlem and the Bronx, so
Mm.
I used to study like how certain rappers dress too. So that's kind of like a New York thing too.
Okay. And do you feel like being knowing you studied the game of rap back then, you feel like these newer kids and so it's just learn more about these old school rappers? 'Cause maybe like you could go up to a Bronx Joe rapper right now and ask them like, do you know who Big Pun is or Big L, and they probably can't even name a song. Do you feel like they should know these type of songs?
They should, but you can't really force them to because
Mm.
it's probably not what they grew up on. They probably grew up listening to something else like Lil Durk, Chief Keef.
Yeah.
So you can't really force them to, but they should if they want to just hear different sounds. Could probably change up their sound, different like wordplay and flows.
And was the name always Kevisions when you first started, or did you had other names before? Or was there any other names in like that you wanted to be named, or what was the whole story behind Kevisions?
That's a funny question because one time I was recording my friend Richie Ross. He had his 1,000 ball game in college. I was college, so around this time it's like around 2016, I think. Yeah, around 2016, I was recording and I had a YouTube, but my name on YouTube was my full name. I didn't have a name. Couldn't think of nothing. And I always wanted to like do visions, like vision. I always wanted to start a clothing line, and I always wanted vision a part of it. 'Cause I feel like you gotta have a vision with whatever you do. So one day I shot the footage and I was editing it. Like, damn, I gotta come up with a name. It can't just be my full name forever. So I just started Key Visions because like you just basically seeing what I see when I record it or I take the picture.
Mhm. What's the biggest misconception that people have for photographers?
Biggest misconception that a photographer or a videographer can shoot or edit in a style that you're looking for all the time. Like because somebody can book a photographer and want a certain style for that photographer shot or this videographer shot. I could do it, but
It wouldn't be the same.
that's like a little misconception. Like every photographer shoots and has the same edit style, or even likes having the same edit style.
Okay.
Sometimes you don't even want to even edit like that.
What 3 questions should people not ask a photographer?
3 questions.
They shouldn't ask.
If we just finished the shoot, when it's going to be done. But I don't really know sometimes if there's any bad questions because I feel like you just gotta attend to the customer. Like,
Okay.
whatever if they have, like I try to answer every customer question. I don't try to even overthink if it's a bad question or not.
And then, with more photography questions, do you feel like photo creds should be a necessity for anything? Because a lot of rappers, they don't like to put photo creds, and like, do you feel like they have to do it?
I've grown out of it. I've used to want it, but I've grown out of it because I've been in the game for like I wouldn't say a long time, but since 2014, really took it serious 2016. So I'm not saying I don't care for a photo cred, but post it, that means enough for me, honestly. Because I don't like if a Boogie posted my picture twice, he didn't tag me, but my logo was there. I know he know I took the picture. People that see it want to know I took the picture. It's not really like Young Thug posted my picture before he didn't tag me. He my logo was there though. Like,
Yeah.
my logo wasn't there for that picture. It wasn't. I just sent it to him. Sometimes I don't really like my logo on pictures. As a matter of fact.
Why not? Why?
Because I feel like it can get in the way of the actual picture. Yeah. Sometimes I just don't set it. Sometimes I just do it. I'll do it with basketball videos too, though, because like people like to not give you credit on basketball videos.
How did you create the logo? Where was you at? What was that inspiration behind it?
my first logo. I was in college. I was going to Livingstone College, and um, me and my bro Isaiah, we figured out the logo. He just made it one day. Like he just put it together. We had this app called Logo Maker. We just put it together, and then another logo with the K and the V and the camera on top. I just made it my own on the same app. Logo Maker, just put a K and a V and the camera together.
Okay.
I didn't want to make it too complicated. 'Cause I feel like every brand should have a logo that's their name brand and like a simple logo. So like, see that Facebook got the F, Twitter got the bird.
Yeah.
Something a little simple. So yeah.
Right. And you said you've been doing this since 2014. About 8 years, close to a decade.
Yeah.
Out of all those years, what was the best story you had? What was the most fun you had? What shoot? What? It could be basketball. It could be music. What was the best shoot for you? Like you had.
That's a hard question, bro. I haven't really think. Wow, I didn't even ask that. Really. I'm trying to think. Best experience. Probably when. Best experience. Best experience is probably when I went to Melo's son, Kanye Anthony. I went to his basketball game. He had a tournament at Queens College. Ironically, we're in Queens right now. He had a tournament at Queens College. I think he was in the 6th grade, I think. And Melo was there, and Lala came. And then the next day, it was just Melo for real. I was just chilling with Melo. Like I was sitting down next to him, and I wasn't really talking to him really too much, but it was just like, you're chilling around your like idols. It was a great feeling. And when he ended up winning a championship, and we left, and he was like, "Yo, appreciate you. Gave me a 5. Like, what you doing for my son? Keep working." It's like, it means a lot. Like, because I met Melo when I was real young, like in 8th grade, when I was playing basketball at a Rucker Park. It was a basketball clinic. And he was sponsoring it. It was a Jordan sponsor. And I was working out at a basketball clinic, and I asked him a question if he was going to stay in Denver, and he was laughing. So now it's like, and I got a picture of him too back then. So now it's like years later, like I'm working, like I'm showing you, I'm working for your son, like trying to show the world what your son could do. It was like, wow, that's a full circle moment for real. Like, I mean, growing up, I didn't, like, it's going to sound crazy, but I didn't really think celebrities was real. Like, the scene on TV, Beyonce on TV. Remember MTV Cribs? I thought that was like, what?
No, I love
Cribs, like,
it was MTV Cribs, or was Pimp My Ride, all that.
Yo, the way, like, the cars and Cribs, like, it's a lot of money, like, for real. So, but of course, I ended up not thinking, of course, they're real people. But I didn't think they was even reachable. Like when I was younger, we was at a Rucker Park game, and I met Kevin Durant. When he had 66 points. If you look in that video on YouTube, I'm in that little kid running around. Like, it's just crazy how I ended up just like touching these people like in real life, and you just learn that when you do good, you have a good heart in it. You know, things gonna come back around. It was just crazy how I just ended up being around him as I got older. That might not have been a crazy story, but that story meant a lot to me, though, for real.
And I see that you do other businesses, KV Talks.
Mm-hmm.
You got KV Merch. What made you want to dabble into those type of businesses?
Well, I do, like I said, I always wanted to be like Stephen A. Smith or around that area. So I want to do like documentaries and interviews with other people as the brand goes up. I've done stuff. I've done interviews before, like Seton Hall, post game, Miles Powell. I've done post game interviews. Lexi Brown, Duke University. Shout out Lexi Brown too. She changed my life for her. Like Lexi Brown was one of the first like celebrities. Like I wouldn't call her celebrity back then. She had 30K, but she was going to Duke University. She was her dad is D Brown. But she was nice in basketball, and I went to her games at Duke University. I got a media pass, and I met her. We ended up being real cool. That's family. She posted my videos. Went to the WNBA draft party. As she got drafted, she was in the city. She showed me the utmost love. I had to shout her out. She was one of the first ones that gave me the confidence that, okay, I believe in myself, but other people believe in me. That's like approving of my work. And shout out to her for real. And D Brown, they definitely looked out. Lindy Brown, the whole Duke family, like for real. But yeah, so that's really how it happened.
All right. And you said the KB talks more like the Stephen A. Like,
And when I first started interviewing people, I did it I started in Duke at the post game. I was a little bit nervous. Like, I'm in Duke right now. Like, post game, I'd ask questions. I did it. I'm like, oh, it's not as bad as you think it is. Like, I kind of learned. I read the 50th Law by 50 Cent and Robert Greene. He talked about like being fearless. So I kind of took that and learned. You got to break through fear. Fear is not really real. It's just what you're thinking in your head. You got to just get past it. Honestly.
And speaking about Stephen A., the sports analyst, do you feel like they over exaggerate their takes?
Nah, he does go too crazy on black athletes. He should relax with that, honestly. But no, he's getting paid millions of dollars, so he gotta say certain things. But sometimes he does have good points though. But certain things is too exaggerating. Just talk about basketball.
Who's your favorite sports analyst? Like, who you listen to?
Favorite sports analyst? I like JJ Redick right now. He has great takes.
Him. I don't know. I listen to him. Draymond Green is good.
Yeah, Draymond Green is tough. He always has a passionate point too. Definitely.
And then speaking about the merch, what made you decide to, put your vision, your logo, and actually make it into merch?
Well, I'm definitely going to drop more merch real soon. That's one. Two. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just wanted to make the brand more noticeable. So when I add my logo to pictures and videos, that's one way of doing it. But now if it's on a shirt, hoodie, it's like when I give it to certain people, you just see it more. And I do want to get more creative with the brand. I have a sample T-shirt of Lil Uzi and Young Thug on it, and I had posted it. People asked when I'm gonna drop it. I don't even know yet. I'm trying to do stuff like that, like print out T-shirts of my pictures, so it could be like fire, like difficult collab.
And we're in, the second quarter of 2022. What do you have plans for the rest of the year? What do you want to accomplish this year?
I just want to work as hard as I can, do as much shoots, get better, grow for real. That's it. Yeah.
And my last question, I always ask the question, what type of legacy do you want to have with the name Kevisions? When people bring it up, he did this for New York, he did this everywhere for the basketball community. What do you want people to know you at for?
Yeah, I definitely want to leave a legacy. 'Cause I could have worked for like different brands, but I turned them down just so I could build my own name. Because generational wealth is real. We need that in the black community. So I want to grow that. And like, when you hear the Obamas, you hear Carter's, think of Jay-Z, think of Barack Obama, you hear my last name, you hear Kevisions, you know, like, no, he did that for that person. He really put out some great content. I want when you just look at my picture, I want you to look at my picture from 50 years from now. For like one of those pictures, like.
I can't wait, yeah.
For real, honestly. And that's why I really tapped into like recording my little son too, because when I first started, he was young. He was like in 6th grade. So I wanted people to see him now when he's young. So by the time he gets to high school, college,
people will look back.
They'll look back like, nah, remember that? Like, look at him now. He's dunking, going crazy. So I just want to like record. I want to stay in tune with the youth. You know what I mean? Give advice. People look up to me, show advice, and give advice and show love to the younger group. The youth is very important. Like trying to give back. And I like to record the younger basketball group because they need it too. Because when I was playing ball, it was one time my dad could tell you, my brother Richie could tell you, we had a game. It was 5 players, and I had the game winning layup. Nobody recorded it though. Nowadays, you hit a game winning layup. That's going to go on TikTok, Instagram immediately. So nowadays, I just want to be the person. And people, the younger group need, when they see film of themselves, I know it gives them confidence. I know it do, because I had a little highlight when I was in high school, a little bounce pass assist, and that was good enough for me. I'm like, all right, cool. But a whole mixtape video, like, you never know what doing good for somebody can do for them. So I just wanted to just give back, be the best I could be.
What advice do you want to give to the youth before we head out?
To the youth, what age range? Just like young?
Because others that we could do between 12 to 17.
12 and 17, yo, you have to think long term. Life is real serious. Whatever you do when you're younger can determine your future, but nobody can define you or tell you how your life is going to go. Just know you're always the driver of your family, of your life. You can take it up or you can go down. Stay focused. Have a plan. Even if the plan don't work out, just keep pushing. Because plenty of times I wanted to give up. Plenty of times I did give up. But I woke up and kept it pushing for the next day. You have to, and just try to stay focused, and you don't have to like be what you think society wants you to be. Just be yourself. You don't have to hang out late, all that. It's cool to read a book, do your homework. I wish I studied for tests when I was in high school instead of going to parties, stuff like that. I would have went to Division I college and maybe would have been a manager for a Division I school. But things happen, so that's my advice. Take school serious and go from there and save and all that for real.
And before we head out, where can people find you at Instagram for all three? And Facebook, anywhere where people can find you, website.
But yeah, have a good heart too. Have a good heart. If you're living foul, you're giving out negative energy, don't expect for things to go easy for you. Always have a good heart and spread positive vibes. Never know what being nice could do to somebody. It could change somebody's day for real. No matter who I meet, I'll be as nice as I can. Like for real. Like try to just be myself, laid back. One time, it was recently, we went to Lala Anthony. It was Kanye's birthday, and we went to Benihana's. And seeing people come to the window, try to say hi to Lala, like it was just different environment. But I wasn't used to it. But I still had to be myself, have great vibes. When you're in certain situations, just be yourself and be kind, because first impression is everything. You can leave a bad impression on somebody. So just always keep your head high and stay positive. I had to just add that in there too.
All right.
But you can find me on Instagram, Kevisions 2, KEVISIONSS, and on Instagram and on Twitter, Kevisions, and TikTok on Kevisions. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for coming through.
Appreciate it.